this is Rob and Ali sharing with you our passion of all things cruise and travel. Where does the time go, Robert, when you're planning a holiday?
2 weeks today. 2 weeks today we will be on an aeroplane to Tokyo in Japan. We have made a little bit of progress. We've been working on what we're going to do in Tokyo, or in Japan, should I say, and what we're going to do on the cruise ship. When I say we, it's Al's been doing it. Seriously. She has spent hours in front of the computer.
Hours. And it's like, don't stop me. I'm
having a good time.
I have all the screens up, and honestly, you go down so many sort of rabbit holes. And then think, no, that's just not for us. That's not for us.
I think we've got a pretty good itinerary sorted out, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm happy.
It's not quite boxed off yet, and not quite there. It's still investigating. But first up, let me tell you, I'm gonna have to put the glasses on because I have got things written down, and I don't want to miss anything for you. I want to tell you everything that I've been doing. Okay, so
you can see that we're ready for another night of planning as well.
This is how we enjoy. It's how we get through the nights. Kind of.
It's not how we get through the nights. That sounds terrible. Get through the nights by drinking wine. No, it's
yes, but on the computer and everything. That's what. It's all part of the holiday. That's what we said to you, didn't we? That's it. It makes it all exciting. It is part of the planning. Yeah. So, favourite apps this week have been Google Maps. Woo! Rome to Rio, I'll tell you why in a minute. Rome to Rio, and Google Translator. So they have been my favourite this week, and I have used them until they're nearly worn out. So let me see if I can get this into some sort of order for you. I'm all over the place because that's pretty much how I've been on the planning.
To be honest with you, that's how I feel as well. It's like, ooh, there's this, that, the other. I was like, okay, yes, dear.
So first of all, we know you have to take into consideration when we arrive in the different ports and when we leave. So of course that then tells you how long you're in a place. And when we arrive in Tokyo, we arrive early evening one night. So we've got the full day, then overnight before we pick up our cruise the next day. So that gives us lots of nice time, good time in Tokyo, and we're treating that sort of a full port stop.
As you know, we've already booked the hotel, and that's in Yokohama, but it's only about 40 minutes or so out of Tokyo.
You see, yeah.
It is on Google Maps.
Yeah, when Milado Googled it, in real life, when you actually have to get into real life and start changing trains and doing the little walk in between and building in some getting lost time.
Okay.
It's a bit longer than that. It's probably more like an hour and
I was going to say, let's get
minutes.
into it because from our hotel to where we're going to start our activities in Tokyo is about an hour and 20 minutes, didn't you say?
Yes. So the other things I had to consider were things like the weather. So I had to check all the weather out. So the weather is going to be sort of warm. So it's what they sort of say like kind of a spring day or an early summer day. So it's sort of t-shirts or light shirts like this, maybe a light rain jacket, or just nice summery dresses. Although they do recommend, you see, that if you wear sandals and things, that's probably not appropriate around Tokyo.
No,
it might be okay in the other places, but you probably want something more enclosed.
Yeah. And I think we've got a bit of walking anyway, so...
and then it's not the rainy season, but it is likely to rain. And so you need an umbrella, and you also need to take into consideration those kind of things when you're planning your days.
Yes.
So I've got that all factored in, that it's going to rain a little bit. And so I'll just tell you the other resources I was looking at in case people are interested in looking. They do have this, it's a strange thing, but somebody has taken a kind of a video through Tokyo of just people walking down the street. It's just people walking.
I saw that.
You saw me watching it. And the reason I watch that and the reason so many people watch it is it tells you kind of the sort of clothes that people wear. So it's like, what's an acceptable attire when you haven't been to somewhere that is culturally quite different?
That's clever.
And so although we're going to stand out as tourists just because we are, you don't want to look completely off, and you don't want to be going into restaurants or beautiful hotels and things and be completely off the mark. So I looked at that, and that could give me a good idea of what the average person in the street is wearing and looks like.
So we're hiring kimonos.
Yes. Yes.
You can actually hire kimonos.
And then the other big
We
one
won't
is his footwear. And I think I've mentioned this in another video. You must still think I'm obsessed with footwear. But, it's so you have to be comfortable, don't you, in what you're wearing.
Yes.
And also, I noted that in some of the restaurants and in some of the temples you go into, you have to take your shoes off. So if you're going to wear big things that need all unlacing and you've got big socks on or something, or you haven't got socks on and you've got ugly feet and you wanted to wear socks, it's something to bear in mind. Okay. So all this is kind of giving me like a background to what I'm thinking of.
Right. So let's crack on.
Now, let me give you an idea about Tokyo. So the easiest way I could then visualize, because there's all these wonderful places to go to, and you've only got a day, and it's huge.
Anyway, yeah.
People can spend 2 weeks in Tokyo and still only see a fraction of what it's got to offer. So the best way I can imagine it is it's like a clock. So it's like a clock with the Imperial Palace, if you think, right at the middle. And then all the Tokyo is sectioned off into cities. So it's like different areas that come round the clock. And then part of one of those clocks is Disneyland, and another bit is the port. So you really have to look at what you want to do and try to put it within one of those zones. You're not going to be able to go from here to here to here to here. You're going to run out of hours. You're just not going to have the time, and you're going to be traveling on the train and the underground for all your day. So that's really the way I then started. I could visualize it then. That's what I needed to do, is visualize it. So the route that I've picked we can either start from one end, and literally we're kind of going to go this way. We're going to go through Tokyo from sort of the Imperial Palace and go this way and end up at the Sensoji Temple, or we can start there and work our way back the other way. And it just depends. So the Imperial Palace, that is one of the kind of the highlights, one of the main features. It has beautiful gardens and things around it. Then the idea is, the way this is done is, I want to avoid getting as many trains and underground as possible, because again, some of these places are vast and your GPS doesn't work. So you actually don't have one exit. A lot of them have multiple exits, and people pop up at the wrong exit. So the idea is that we are going to try and walk through a lot of this. This is actually overall about a 2.5 hour walk, but that's the full day and the evening, so it's not that far. So the next thing we're looking at is to move on and to go Mario Karting. So Mario Karting, you literally go around in these electric cars. You can have costumes to dressed up in and look like superheroes or Mario.
I'm not sure they're electric. They're basically they're go-karts. They're go-karts, and it's a 2-hour tour. Well, it all depends. There's a number of different options. Some of them are 1 hour, some of them are 1 hour and a half, some of them are 2 hours, and they range in prices from about 90 Australian dollars to about 240 Australian dollars. They've got different inclusions. All of them give you a costume, but some of them aren't Mario character costumes. Some of them are just coloured costumes.
Like superheroes and things?
No, I think they're just coloured costumes. Some of them include photographs, some of them don't. We haven't worked out which one we're going to do yet, but I think we want one that we're going to dress as Mario characters and get some photographs, so we're probably going to be looking at the top end of that. They go to different places as well, obviously, because there are different times, so we'll work out which one we're going to go. But
it was just, you actually go through the city, round the city, and you sightsee, and you're in amongst the buses and all the other cars. I showed it to Robert, and he went, oh, okay, so they must close the roads off and you go in the bus lanes. And I was like, no, you don't. You actually go.
You do.
And because the Japanese are so polite, not like kind of us Europeans.
Well, we're assuming they are.
That's what they're saying. But that's what it's saying on the internet, is that they just kind of just let you go, and they just let you go. Anyway, so I am just so excited
Very
to do
excited
that.
about that.
And then
We better check the insurance. Actually, we better check the insurance. Just make sure that they will cover us for that sort of activity.
Oh, you always
I'm not
look
sure.
after us, don't you?
However, in order to do this, we do need an international driving permit.
Yes.
So we're going to have to get one of those as well. I think they're about $49 Australian. You can apply for them online, or you can get them from your local motoring organisation, whichever state you're in. With us, it's RACQ. You just take along a passport photograph and your driving licence, then they'll do it on the spot, which is what we will probably do at the weekend.
Yes, because we were starting to go and do it online, and then when you said you can do it from the RACQ, actually just go in and
Go
get
into the
it.
office, yeah.
Big tick, because that you don't have to worry about waiting for that to come in the post.
That's right. We would have been panicking because it's less than 2 weeks to go now.
Another big highlight then after that would then be to go to the Sensoji temple. So you're kind of getting a feel here that we are going to do sort of the oldie kind of the more historical tour. A load of fun in the middle with the Mario Kart, then go to the temple, and then along the way I'm going to try and find nice little places or little bits that we can either have lunch or something, so I've still got to add that in. I thought we might get a walk along the river, but
we'll see. Time gets away from you, doesn't it?
I can't manage to kind of fit that in.
Yeah, time does get away from you.
And then you will just never guess what's at the end of this trip. So this actually, we can do this either way, so we can either start off here and end up at the Imperial Palace, and then from the Imperial Palace we can go to where they have all the lights and all the high-rise and things.
Yes.
Or we can do it in reverse. So where we then end up is, I don't know how I find these places, but it's called a Ninja Cafe. You can tell us
It is.
where'd you go? Yeah.
Absolutely. What's a Ninja Cafe? Huh?
Okay, so a Ninja Cafe is. So they do. So it's a proper cafe where you get. It's got kind of like a rustic pubby sort of feel is what I'd call it, really, like wood and that kind of thing. It's got like real ales or something, what they call them. Like home cooking of things like curries and things like that, vegetarian options and vegan options. But the highlight,
you can get that anywhere.
The highlight of this is you have a 1.5 hour kind of lesson in being a ninja. So they give you the outfits to get dressed up in, and they show you how to, they're like stirrups that go on the bottom of your boots if you were a cowboy, those things. So they're like the Japanese
those
fighting
stars. Yes,
stars.
They do have a name, but I can't remember what they're called. Yes.
So they actually show you how you can
throw them,
and they have these great big wooden boards, and you throw them, and you have competitions with
Wow.
those. Then you have proper blowpipe, and
I didn't know about the blowpipes.
and you do competitions again with how to do the blowpipe. And then there was another thing you did as well as a ninja. And you're all in your outfit. Fantastic. You can extend the hire of your ninja outfit for an hour and go off round the town in it if you want to, and kind of frighten the locals. Although I'm sure they're used to it by now.
I think it's the city bit. Yes, that's
it's so funny. It's for all ages. So kids can go as well, but stand aside, kids. So that just looks a load of fun, and then the food looks like the food is pretty good as well by the looks
looking
of it.
forward to that.
Yeah, so
I think we're going to have a fantastic day in Tokyo.
Yeah. So we'll have to decide which way, and then there's other things we can add in. But as we said last time, we're adding in kind of this what we said was white space. So you've got your main things, and then in between
Doesn't sound like too much. What we did find, though, that the last train back to Yokohama is not until about 11 o'clock at night. So we've got about an extra hour on what we'd already planned to be able to get back to the hotel in Yokohama. So that's good.
So the beauty of having Google Maps and Rome to Rio, which I say I'm not plugging Rome to Rio, but it's not. You don't have to pay for that app or anything. It is just free, like Google Maps. The beauty of that is that you can put in where you want to go from and to, and it will give you all the options of all the
It's pretty good.
trains, whether to walk. It gives you all of them, and when you pick it, it tells you obviously the time.
Yeah.
It's a bit more sophisticated actually than Google Maps, and then from there you can put it in.
Yeah.
But it's only by doing that you can actually then get an understanding of the distances between the different places. So then we get on board to our cruise in Yokohama.
Yes.
And then we have some port stops to
We
decide
do.
on.
The first stop is at Okinawa. We stop at Naha. We looked at a few things to do, but and it's not cemented, it's not concreted in yet. But there is a tour called I think it's the City Highlights City Tour, Best of Naha. I don't know what's it called again. I've written it down here. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, we visit. There's a couple of places that you visit.
The cruise ship offers the typical tourist day out. So it's got all the castles, it's got the heritage monuments, it has kind of we've got them all here.
Well, this one's
like
only
a high street that has all the sort of shops and souvenirs and that sort of stuff.
This particular tour is a 4-hour tour. It's 105 Australian dollars. It only visits the castle and which was actually the original capital during the Ryukyu Empire. In 1400 and something until 18 something. It's actually destroyed by fire in 2019, but it's a UNESCO heritage listed building and they're restoring it. So it'll be good to see how they're getting along with that. But it is a guided tour, so they do take you around and tell you all about it. And then they take you to the high street, which is a 2-kilometre, I forget what it's called, but it's a 2-kilometre street with the, we've got it written down here. You're going to have to help me.
Yeah. It's got,
what's it called?
Shea Dory.
That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got all sorts of bars,
butchered
restaurants.
that name. Nobody, they'll say, what place was that then? We haven't heard of that one.
Anyway, I think we're going to, it's not, as I say, it's not concreted in, but some of the other places from the tours on the ship, didn't really appeal to us. So that one seemed quite good because it was that heritage castle and they do a bit of shopping, souvenirs and high street and boutiques and things in Naha.
You see, you can see I'm not clapping because coach tours, just not my thing. I just can't think of anything more hideous, actually, than loading onto a coach trip and trying to get a flavour of a place. However, it may be the lesser of two evils sometimes when you only have a short time to get off a cruise ship and actually see a place. So we're looking at, I think this was sort of, this was 4 hours. So if this is early enough, it leaves us the afternoon then while we're off the ship to maybe feel a little bit of, once we're off the ship and we feel a bit more comfortable. Otherwise, we might try and pick up one of these a guided tour where they're kind of government approved, stamp of approval on some of these official tours that are there, tour guides. But saying that, it's pretty much going to be the same things that you would see on that. Then the next place is Ishigaki. I've said that one again.
Ishigaki, yes.
Ishigaki. This excites me now. You see, I've gone all yippee again because we have found, and you're going to have to put a little shot in about this one. We have found electric trike hire.
Yes.
So they're electric trikes. They will take 3 people, but I reckon that's at a push.
Yeah. There are different ones that you can get. The ones that I was looking at, which are around $60 a person, not just a single person. But you can get these little carts. They look like a bit like your postie. Bit like the electric postie carts, but they take 2 or 3 people.
So they're covered in.
So that one is.
But they're just, they're easy to drive. But I think you still need your international license.
You do.
Because it's motorised, but it is not like getting a motorbike or a scooter. And certainly these places, they're not dangerous. They're not like going to Italy or something and having a scooter or something like that. Looks absolutely wonderful. Cost for 2 hours is around $60 per person. Yeah. And Robert has now found that you can get guides that will go with you.
The same company, which I think is called Evil Ride, they do a series of guided tours. They are about 130 Australian dollars for your 2 hours, but you get your electric trike and they guide you and they take you to different places. So you've got entrance to the different places that you go to, or a glass bottom boat ride. There's different ones. We'll have a look through those. They're all in Japanese, so I need to translate them to see what's actually included in them. But there's about 6 different options with Evil Ride that we'll have a look at. I think we'll do that. Well, I think we'll do one of the guided ones because we're a little bit more secure. If something goes wrong with the trike, then we've got the rest of it.
And that's what we would think. Can I tell the tale about the trike? Can I? Robert goes mad if I go over time. However, I've got to tell you this tale. In TripAdvisor, a German couple had gone on this trip. There was three of them had gone on the trip with the trikes, and they had asked for an extra hour, and they were given an extra spare battery. And they said, unfortunately, the battery just ran out. The second battery ran out, and they had to go really, really slowly. And that's because the person actually said themselves, 3 large Germans in this trike. And it just wouldn't. They just didn't have enough power in it to go along. So anyway, we'll have to just make sure we don't eat on the cruise to make sure that we
don't eat on a cruise.
No, we don't run out. So, but there's all things like we've got the Memorial Museum. We've got these beautiful it's a beautiful, beautiful island to explore, and it seems a shame to be sitting on a coach to explore.
Oh, we wouldn't do that. No.
If you're in one of these trikes and you've got your own time, and I just think you can absorb what's going on.
Absolutely.
And the glass bottom boat, again, that sounds a little bit, but it looks beautiful. And the reason they do that is because the water area is a heritage site, so you're not allowed to kind of do anything else to view the underwater.
That's true.
So that looks amazing.
Then our final stop is, talking of time, actually we're going to have to wrap it up, but our final stop is Keelung in Taiwan. We're actually got, with this unusual, we've got a day and a night there, and we'll get there one morning, and then we've got the whole day in Keelung, and then we've got the night there, and then we get off the ship the following morning. So we still haven't worked out a proper
port of call.
With a lot of flexibility that we can do here. We might stay out late and have something to eat. I don't know. We've got to work that one out.
We'll see a show that's actually there. We haven't even got to that one yet.
No.
Quick tip, when Robert's just saying, when you're reading some of these sites and they are all in Japanese, if you highlight it, the Google Translate normally comes up, and you click it and it will translate it for you.
I didn't do that. I'll have to have a look at that. As soon as we've finished, I'm going to go and have a look at that.
There's just some gems. Absolute gems.
Anyway, that's what we've got booked so far. This is a quick update. It's not a quick update. It's gone on for a long, but it's a long update. But that's where we're at so far with our planning. Once we've got a little bit more, and I think we've just got a few more things to finalise, and that'll probably be our next update, maybe our last one before the actual trip. But if you've liked this video, please hit like, please hit subscribe, and hit the notification button if you want to see more of our videos.
Now, I know we always say...
just waiting for it.
You nearly finished, didn't you? I know we always say about, and everybody always says about subscribing and all that kind of stuff, but please subscribe. It gets us in the algorithm, and even if you never watch another one of our videos, and you think, I don't want to subscribe because I don't want to be getting lots and lots of notifications about their videos. You don't. That doesn't work like that. So just hit the subscribe, and you might never see us again if you don't want to. But if you do, yes, give us a like, and please come back and watch us. We love having you here, and we love sharing this information with you. There you go. You can finish off now.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.